Hey, Gretchen Yui here. This video is a deep dive into the Nexus Rewards Nexus Snap 3x10 Force Matrix Compensation Plan. And so again, just enjoy this. It just goes into a lot of detail, and then I'll be right back.
So let's take a look at this. This is, as I said, a 3x10 force matrix. This is an opportunity for you to make totally passive income. Now, income disclaimer, we all know there are no guarantees. We're all professionals. We understand the harder we work, the more money we're going to make. The amount of money you make in any income opportunity depends upon your level of expertise, your experience, your desire, your work ethic, all of those things. And, past results are not any guarantees of future results. But let me explain to you this 3x10 force matrix in Nexus Snap, Nexus Rewards, because it's crazy powerful. So you're going to have up to 3 people on your first level. And when your first level fills in, then your next level will fill in. There'll be 9 people. You get paid 25 cents per person per month in the matrix. So if you have 3 people, if your level 1 is filled and you've got 3 people in there, you're going to be making 75 cents a month. Big deal, right? But especially if you're totally passive, you didn't do anything to get that. Then your second level will fill in and you will have up to 9 people in your second level, making 25 cents on each of those. That's $2.25 on that level for a total of $3. You can see your third level has up to 27 people in it, and then you may be making $6.75 on that level for a total cumulative on all 3 levels of $9.75, and it grows and grows and grows. Now, if you have not personally recruited anyone, not a soul, you'll get paid through level 8, and you can make up to $2,460 a month. Now, I want to be really, really clear. Is this going to happen in month 1? No, absolutely not. You are not going to be making $2,460 in month 1 in your force matrix alone. No, that's not going to happen. Is it going to happen in month 2, 3, 4, 7, 10? No, it's going to take time. But here's the thing. As your matrix grows, you're going to be earning maybe 75 cents, maybe $9.75, maybe $12. It's going to keep growing and growing and growing. And bit by bit, each month, your force matrix will expand and expand if you, your team, your upline are growing, right? And I'm going to show you how this can go absolutely crazy with a real life example. Okay. Now, if you personally enroll just one person, you can get paid through level 9, and that increases your earnings potential to $7,380.75 a month. And then when you personally enroll just 5 people, only 5 people, can you imagine only enrolling 5 people in your entire life in Nexus Rewards, Nexus Snap, and making $22,143 a month? But that's just in the force matrix, right? I want to be really clear. That's just in the force matrix. That doesn't include any of the other 6 ways you can make money in Nexus Snap. Okay, so that's one snapshot of the 3x10 force matrix. Now let's look at how this actually fills in. Okay, let me go to this view here. So let's say this is your upline, this is you, and maybe you don't recruit anybody. Maybe your upline's a big recruiter. Okay, let's pretend your upline's a big recruiter. Maybe you're in my downline, right? And not to brag, but I am the #1 recruiter in the company right now. So it means if you're on my team, more people are getting put underneath you. That's just the way it works, right? Or there's the potential for a whole lot more people because I'm the biggest, fastest recruiter. Okay. So let's say this is me and let's say this is you. So, and let's say you've decided you're going to be totally passive. Great, fine, no problem at all. You don't have to do anything. So I'm going away recruiting. So I recruit somebody, and the first person is going to get put on level 1 here in position A. Then I recruit somebody else, and position B is going to get filled in, then position C. Then it's going to go down to your next level, and it's going to fill in D first. Then it's going to go over here and fill in the furthest left position under B, which would be this position C. Then it's going to fill in under C, position J. Then it's going to go back, and the next person that's recruited would be the middle position under A, and then the middle position under B, and then the middle position under C. And then it's going to go back and fill in the right position under A, then the right position under B, and the right position under C. And then it's going to go down here to the next level, and it's going to fill in the left position under D, then the left position under E, then the left position under F. Then it would go to the left position under G, the left position under H, I, this way. And then it would go back to the middle position under each of these and fill those in. Okay. Now let's look at a real life example of what's happened on my team. Okay. So now I've changed all these names to protect the innocent, right? So this is me, and I'm recruiting, and I've got somebody direct that I have personally recruited in my left position, my middle position, my right position. We're going to be focusing on this left leg, but just know that all of these positions are filling in. So I go recruit Jim here, and then I bring in somebody else. All these positions, all these other positions are filled, right? So now we're down to level 2. I fill level 1 with left, middle, right. Then I'm still recruiting, and I start filling in level 2. So Anne is someone that I personally recruit, and Anne ends up on Jim's left leg. Then I keep recruiting, and, I bring in somebody on Jim's middle leg. And then let's say Jim brings somebody in. Great. That might go on Jim's right leg. It's all going to be in the order in which it goes. So let's say I'm recruiting, right? I bring in Anne. Then Jim brings in somebody. He personally recruits somebody, and that ends up in his middle position. Then I recruit someone else. Well, if Anne is the last person I recruited on Jim's left leg, the next person I recruit is going to go on the left leg of this middle position. And let's say I filled in the left leg of this middle position, and then Jim recruits someone personally. Well, that's going to go into this middle and into his middle position, right? And then I keep recruiting, and I bring somebody in. So the next person's going to go into the left leg of my right position right here, position J. Okay. Then I bring in somebody else. Well, Jim's personally recruited somebody, so that middle position's filled in. So the next available position is going to be this right leg of Jim's. And then it's going to start working across. So then it would fill in the middle position, etc. Okay. So I personally recruited this. I've changed the name, but Anne, right? Anne ended up in Jim's left leg. And then the rest of level 2 got filled out. So now we're down to level 3. And let's say Jim recruited somebody, and Jim's person ended up on Anne's left leg, because that's the next open position. Then I did, in fact, personally recruit Beth. Beth ended up in this middle position, and then there's somebody else in the right position, and all these positions are filled in all the way across here. But I want to show you what happens. So now Beth happens to be a personal recruit of mine, Anne's a personal recruit of mine, but they're all in Jim's matrix. Now they're in my matrix as well, but they're all in Jim's matrix, right? And Anne has Beth and these people in her matrix. These people, P, Q, and R, are in this middle positions matrix, right? But Anne has Beth in her matrix. So let's look at what's going on with Beth. Beth just got a force matrix payment. And this is true. These are actual real numbers. Beth has 61 people in her left leg, 4 people in her middle leg, and 26 people in her right leg. How on earth can that happen? Well, let me explain this to you. I'm just going to change this up so that we can, well, I'll show you this. So I personally recruited Mike. Mike ended up, after all these other positions were filled in, Mike ended up on Beth's left leg. Beth hasn't recruited anybody, by the way. Beth has not recruited anybody. Beth is totally passive. But Beth has Mike on her left leg, somebody here in her middle leg, and somebody here on her right leg. And you can see underneath this middle person, there are going to be 3 other people. And underneath this right person, there are 25 other people. But let me just change this view so you can see this. It's not as great. Let me try this. Okay. So here, Mike is on Beth's left leg. Mike happens to have 3 people, one on his left, one on his middle, one on his right. And don't forget, all these other positions are filled in over here on these people. But look at this. This Ken happens to be somebody that I personally recruited. Ken ended up, just the way the timing of everything works, Ken ended up on Mike's right leg. Ken is a rock star. True story. Ken became a pro 50. He recruited 50 people, well, over 50 people in just a week. So that's how, even though Ken is a personal recruit of mine, he ends up in Mike's matrix. He also ends up in Beth's matrix. He's also in Ann's matrix, and he's also in Jim's matrix. But it's interesting to see how this happens, that Beth ends up with 61 people on her left leg, only 4 people in her middle leg, because she doesn't have anybody who's recruiting at all in her middle leg, and 26 people in her right leg. So she's got a couple people in her right leg who aren't her personal recruits. They've all been placed there by me or other people, but she's got a couple people there recruiting. So Beth, without doing anything, is making a nice little chunk of change every month. And you can see how now Beth is going to benefit hugely from Ken, who's a rock star. He's bringing in other rock stars, and Beth's matrix is going to explode.
So there you have it. That is the deep dive on the Nexus Rewards Nexus Snap 3x10 force matrix compensation component. And thank you to my team leader for putting together such a great explanation. Really appreciate that. Please look below and click on the link to enroll with a membership to Nexus Rewards. If you have questions, feel free to email me. My email is down below as well. And subscribe to my channel so you can keep up on all the upcoming information that I'm going to share about Nexus Rewards, Nexus Snap, and doing an online home business. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful.